Greetings, YouTube. Twice in the past week, I believe it is, I've listened to two different fellow YouTubers ask the questions, or at least comment about the type of scars they possess. So it got me thinking, what kind of scars do I have? Well, I actually have quite a few of them, and a number of them were acquired in less than stupendously bright ways. I have one up here on my forehead. It's actually kind of difficult to see nowadays. That's actually a pock mark. I had chicken pox when I was a child, not surprisingly. Many people have chicken pox when they're children. Unfortunately, I had a small sister at the time, and I leaned over to the crib to give her a pinch, and she hauled off and smacked me in the forehead with a plastic rattle, which is probably why they don't make those kind of rattles anymore. But she tore off the chicken pox and scarred me for the rest of my life. Yay, sister. Of course, I gave her chicken pox. She was actually fairly young to have them. It was a little dangerous. And she ended up with some discolored marks on her backside. So I guess, it all works out in the end. But I've also have scars on my face. When I was mauled by a dog when I was in third grade, I believe it was, a neighbor's dog escaped, and I was helping to recover the dog, and when the dog finally realized that it was going to be tied back up again to a post, I was unaware at that time that the dog had been rather severely abused. The dog freaked out, pinned me against a wall, and proceeded to bite me in the face and give me 57 stitches in my face. It was no fun at all. It was a very, very bad day. And it's one of the reasons I have a mustache, because he split my lip wide open. But I still have a small scar on my nose and a couple on my cheek where the teeth came into my face. I used to have one on my back. I was born with a benign tumor on my back, and it was removed when I was 3 months old. And it was, completely safe, but I ended up with 38 stitches in my back. It was a fairly good size tumor. And that eventually that one went away. I had stitches in my finger here when I was trying to modify a friend's knife for him by putting on a thumb flipper. This is long before knives had thumb studs or holes or anything like that, and the company had produced a flipper that you could put onto a knife that allowed you to open it one hand. And I was installing it in a friend's knife, screwed up, 6 stitches in my hand. Again, not the best day of my life. I wasn't too happy with the fact that I kind of screwed up. I had this elbow right here, which I had 9 stitches in it. And how did I get 9 stitches in my elbow? Well, I was at a public pool. I think I was 12 or 13, and I was at the public pool every day when I was that age in the summertime. I loved the pool. I was a major water baby. And a neighbor was there, and her daughter was there, who was 5, and I was goofing off the kid. And she's like, punched me in the stomach, and I fall down, and she thought that was hilarious. Well, in the process of doing that, I'm falling down into water. I was perfectly safe. Well, in the process of doing that, I get myself turned around. So when she punched me in the stomach and I fell down, I thought I was landing in water. Hit the ground, split my elbow wide open, had 9 stitches, all from a 5-year-old. Yeah, I felt really dumb about that one. I've burned myself on the wrist from hot butter while trying to dispose of it. I've been scraped and poked and prodded with knives and tools at work. I have a long litany of different injuries I've acquired over the years. The one that sticks in my mind the strongest as far as the little freaky nature was a scar I had up here. You can't see it anymore. It's faded finally. But I had a mole on my head, and the mole had gotten larger, which made people nervous. Moles change shape. Talk to your doctor about them. The doctor decided to remove it. So the doctor cut this piece of my scalp, literally this piece of my scalp, removed my scalp, about that big, about that wide, flapped it in front of me, a little nauseating. But it was like 5 stitches to close this up. But when he did this, the skin was missing. So he kind of tightened, I guess, and he tightened up my entire scalp, like tightening up a drum head. It was the strangest sensation, because suddenly your scalp was being stretched in a direction it's never gone before. It was very odd. And I also have a bone to pick with the doctor, because the doctor told me, and this was when I was 14, that the scar would never be seen because it was behind my hairline. And I had to go back and talk to that doctor now and say, you know something, doc? You were wrong about that hairline. So, what are some of the scars that you've acquired? And if any of them have been acquired in a humorous or absurd manner?